Hi everyone, welcome back to my hustling grip story time. So I met this guy on my WhatsApp. He sent me a WhatsApp message. He just graduated. He's currently doing his NYSC and he's almost done. He's looking for a means of income, a means of survival in Nigeria, because when you are done serving after your NYSC, I think about 80% of Nigerians, they usually just want to either start working or starting a business. They don't want to further their education, except the ones who really have the funds. But those who don't have the money at that point, they just want to work or do something that will give them money to go back and do the masters, because for you to really get a very good paying job these days in Nigeria, they always demand that you have a master's degree. Even some ask for doctorate degree these days in Nigeria. So this guy sent me a message and he wanted to venture into food business. So he wanted to venture into food business. Food business is very diverse. We have the raw food, we have food processing, we have selling of cooked food, different aspects of food business. So he sent me a message and he said he needed advice on, before he ventures into the food business, he needed advice. So I said, okay, this is interesting. I have some ideas, I have some tips I can give you that you can be successful in whatever business you are going to venture into. So we got talking, and as we were talking, I asked him, what do you have your business plan ready? He said he doesn't have the business plan ready. Okay, I asked, what is your budget? He told me the budget. But before you begin, you have to have your business plan ready, because it is the business plan that you are going to follow, the steps that you are going to follow step by step, before you understand, before we venture into the next phase. So he said, okay, he's going to get the business plan. So we got talking, and I want to share with you guys some of the things I told him, some of the ideas I gave him before he ventures into the business and the food business, so that you guys can as well learn from this. So I asked him, what is your budget for this food business that you want to venture into? And he said his budget is between 800,000 naira to 1.2, 1.3 million naira. But he doesn't really have the money yet. He only has part of the money and is trying to look for ways to get the money. So let's say we're working with 800,000 naira, for example. I said 800,000 naira. That means you're not looking for something very standard, because when we talk of 800,000 naira and we're talking of food business, there are a lot of things you need to consider. First of all, for your food business to really do well, you need a very good location. Very important. For your food business to thrive, to survive in Nigeria, you need a very good location. So how do you intend to get the location, except you just want to do it on the roadside, because things are very expensive? So get a food warmer, just food warmer. If you're buying the new one, is close to that 800,000. If you're buying the used one, is about 450,000. Just food warmer that you can display the food for people to point and buy the one they want to buy. So if you're working with 800,000 naira, you're not buying food warmer. Let's say you're just going to buy plastic cooler that keeps the food warm, the one they use for parties. That's the one you're going to go for. So I spoke to him about that, and he was still thinking about it. And now, in Nigeria, you can't even get loan to start up a business. The only way you can start up a good business with a little considerate capital is either you have saved the money, or you have someone to give you the cash, the money to venture into that business at that particular time. If you say you want to locate these loan companies, you must have a very good collateral, like a very good piece of land at a strategic location, or you have a building or something very tangible that will be almost times 3 of that loan, that will be worth times 3, even times 5 of that loan they want to give you in Nigeria. So we got talking. He said he doesn't have anyone to give him the money, and he is not going to borrow money to start up the business. So he wants to start from that point, from that 800,000 naira. So how do we do it now? I began to break down everything, from equipment you need, from sourcing food from cheap location. That's one. We talked about hiring cheap labor, because if you're doing a food business in Nigeria, you need an assistant, even though it's just 1 or 2 persons to assist you. You can't just do everything by yourself. It's not possible. It's not possible. If you see people selling food, even those ones that do mama puts, just little food they sell, they also have helps. It's either they have someone bringing the raw food for them to do the cooking, or they have someone that will run the errand for them, or they have someone that is assisting in the cooking, or they have someone assisting in the serving or delivering food. So you have to hire cheap labor, strategic location, and some of the equipment that is going to be needing to start up this food business, plus business registration and also some licenses within that particular location. So those are the things we really highlighted before we begin to think of marketing and advertising. So I'm just going to break everything down for you guys in this video so that you get to learn. In case you are thinking of starting a food business in Nigeria, you can pick 1 or 2 from this conversation I had with this guy, and you can then put it into your own. Either you are starting on a small scale or you are starting on a large scale. I believe you'll be able to pick 1 or 2 ideas that I'm going to be sharing with him, so that you can inculcate those ideas into your own business and it moves. So let's continue. As the conversation continued, I told him starting from where you are right now is the best decision, is the best thing to do, because if you say you are going to source for more fund, you have no idea where to get the funds. You don't know anyone that can give you those money, that particular money at this urgent point in time. Because if you are going to be leaving NYSC service in 2-3 months, you are already planning not to sit at home. You're already planning to, as you're leaving service, you are starting something immediately, because sitting at home will make you go broke or even short of ideas, especially if you're not doing something currently. I know most guys now usually do not want to do those kind of business. A lot of online business is available for guys, even ladies, to do, but at the same time, still doing a physical business is not a bad idea, and that is what this guy wants to do, because not everybody really have that brain to learn this online thing. You have, because when you are working online, your brain is working 247. You can ask people who work online. People who work online, their brain is working 247. There's no two way about it, because it's an online thing. It's a brain work. Learning crypto trading, learning arbitrage trading, learning freelancing, any kind of online thing. It's your brain and the screen. It's your brain and the screen. So it's your brain that will translate what you're going to put on, that you're going to type, you're going to reply, you're going to work on the screen with. So yeah, so not a lot of people really have that capacity, and even some of us are slow learners. It's not just easy for someone to just venture into this forex trading or crypto trading that is actually trending right now. So doing this online physical business is also not a bad idea. So we spoke about all that, and he said he's going to work with that 800,000 naira. How do you intend to do it? I'm just going to give you the tips on how you can manage your 800,000 naira to start up your business. I'm not going to tell you buy this for so amounts. I'm not going to tell you buy this for so amounts. No way. So we began, and I gave him a contact of someone who usually do business registration, and the guy was able to do his business registration for about, maybe, I don't know the amount, maybe between 10 to 15,000 naira. I don't know, but you can make your research based on your location and based on the current price right now. So he did the business registration, he registered his business name, and then we move to the next step, which is sourcing for a location. That is the next step, because even though you want to buy all your ingredients or all your equipment down before sourcing for a location, it might not really work for you. That's the truth. If you want to buy all your equipment, the pots, the utensils, the gas cooker, gas cylinder, maybe if you don't have a rent, if you don't have a shop, maybe you're buying umbrella or a tent. If you are going to do all that before sourcing for where to put that tent, it's not going to work for you. So you're going to target at getting a location first. You may even end up seeing a cheaper shop at that location that you're sourcing for. So he was able to get a shop along the street, along his location, along his area. So he got a shop for about 50,000 naira every year. So when we say 50,000 naira every year, you should know that that place is not a very urban area. Yes, but the thing is that people in that area, the area is kind of a little bit populated because there's a popular garage close to the area. So I always say that if you're doing food business in Nigeria, you're targeting a garage, you're targeting where Okada people are parking their bike, where taxi drivers are going to stop. You're targeting where people who want to travel will come every morning, every time of the day, and so that is your target. So he was able to get a very cheap shop close to a garage, and it's also close to his house, so it is area. And the good thing about that is that he has already cut down cost of transportation, and he got a perfect location for his business. Now, what does that tell you? What message does that put in your head? Is starting the business on a small scale. Number one, starting the business on a small scale. Number two, the business is not going to be luxurious. The food business is not going to be flamboyant. It's not like when you are renting a hall or a restaurant, a hall in Lekki or Ikoyi. It's not when you are renting a very big shop along the express road. It's not that. So it's just that the good thing is that it was able to get it to where it was able to get it at a location where it's populated with people and cheap as well. That's why I said he's actually lucky to get that kind of location. So he got that, and then we move to the next step, which is sourcing for raw food, and then sourcing for an assistant, an employee, and also buying the materials. So that one is where the main money is going to be involved, especially buying the materials, because to buy the cooking gas, now I don't know the price, but it should be between maybe 30 to 50,000 naira. The iron gas that is locally constructed, where you have to connect the hose to the cylinder and the gas itself. So I don't know the price right now, but I think it should be around between 30 to 50,000 naira, and it has two phases, so you can be cooking rice on one face and cooking stew on one face. After that, is going to get the cylinder, maybe the 12 kg, 15 kg for a starter, because you can't go with the smallest one, which the smaller 3 kg, 6 kg cylinder. That one is going to may disappoint you, especially if you're cooking for commercial purpose, because sometimes these people will wake up as early as 3 a.m. and cook until 6 a.m. You know what that means, cooking on a high heat. And sometimes if they have large customers, if they have high demand in their food, the cooking may even take longer, and they can even cook different batches at different time of the day. So I explained all that to him. So he began buying the utensils, plates, plastic chairs, plastic table covers, and also I think he used about 30 to 50,000 naira to make the shop okay. You know, when you are getting a cheap shop, you have to do some work. I don't know, some people are lucky to have something standard for cheap price, but in Nigeria, in most parts of Nigeria, if you're getting a cheap shop, you have to work on it. Sometimes the floor is already scattered, you have to re-cement it, and then maybe some parts of the roof may be leaking, you have to amend it, and then maybe if it's a wooden shop, you have to use tarpaulin to cover it in case of leakage, because when you're dealing with this equipment, they are mostly iron, aluminum, and they can be exposed to water and air, which will cause them to rust. So I was able to explain all those for him, and he began to take note, and he began to start buying the equipment little by little: pots, plates, spoons, knives, trays, what else, cups, and other things, fork, and other things that is very important that we'll be needing for the food business. And then after that, we begin to look for a professional chef, because although he is a good cook, but he also need an assistant, and the assistant also has to be a professional, because you are starting the business. Even though you are going to be teaching the person some things, the person also have to have some ideas on what you are teaching him or her. So begin to look for someone, which is not hard. I think it took about 3 days to get the professional to assist him in the business. Now the equipment, the utensils are ready, the person is assisting is also available. Time to source for cheap raw food. So when it comes to cheap raw food, the only place I can think of is nuts. Tomatoes, beans, yam, most times they are very cheap in the north and some parts of the west, especially the rural parts of the west. Although I'm not saying that you can't get cheap raw food in other parts of your location, but your targets, you should be targeting people that buy from bush markets, or if you can even go to the bush markets yourself, that is the rural markets, the village part of your location, your community. That is where you can really source for cheap food, because people who are coming to sell in town, they already bought from those people, they already added their profits. So when you are going into restaurant business or food business in Nigeria and you are sourcing for cheap raw food, you should target the rural part of your location. So you have gotten a location, you've gotten a shop or a kiosk or whatever it is. You now have an employee, someone to assist you, because it is very important in food business, especially in Nigeria. I think all food business need an employee, but I'll come back to that. I'll come back to the employment part. You've gotten a location, you've gotten an employee, and then you've known how to source for the raw food at a cheaper rate. You've gotten all the kitchenwares, refrigerator, generator for preservation of your food where there is no lights, and then you've gotten all those things that you need. The next thing to do is to start the business. Now I want you to know that food business is expandable. Food business is expandable, and there are different ways. Even though you are selling cooked food, even though you are selling cooked food, you can decide to sell raw food as well, depending on the space you have, depending on the demand in that area, and depending on your ability to be hardworking. You know, people have different strengths due to age, health, and others. So if you think you have energy to work, you can be selling cooked food and raw food at the same time. If you have a good location, it's not hard. It's in fact, that is what most people do now. It's like you're having double streams of income at the same time. I'll come to that. This factor also depends on your capital though. So let me focus on the cooked food aspect. I'll come to the other one later. So now you've gotten everything you need. It is time to start selling. What method do you want to use to start selling the cooked food? Now, do you want to just relax and sell to those who are coming to you? Do you want to be just selling to people who want to buy, or you want to take the food to them? That is where the delivery services come in. If you want to take the food to them, you have to get maybe a means of transport, a means of transit. If you want to maybe make arrangements with logistics, what do I call it? Yeah, it's logistics riders and delivery guys, delivery riders. You can make arrangements with them, maybe 500 naira per delivery. That one is the customer that will pay for it. So that way your business will expand faster, your business will grow faster. Because if you just want to depend on those who are coming to buy from you, one thing you should know that when you are talking of business, when you are starting a business, there is always a competition. Definitely, there is always competition. There is always competition. You are not the first person to start that business. Although you may not be closer to the person who is doing the business in your area, in your location, but there is always a competition. That's number one. Also, I want you to know that those people who are supposed to come to buy from you, they already have someone they are patronizing already. So if this driver, assuming you are selling in a motor park, is supposed to come and buy food from you every morning, and there's someone at the other side who he always patronizes, it will take time, maybe some days, some weeks, before they will know that you're actually there. So what you want to do is that you have to create awareness. You can get a cheap signboard. Get a cheap signboard that's you write food is ready, or buy cooked food here, or something attractive, cheap food here, hot amala here, hot jollof rice here, you understand, peppered meat here. If you are selling akara, hot akara here. It's anything you are selling, you just have to create awareness. You just have to make people know you in that location. That is one of the ways to thrive. That's one of the ways to grow your small business. There are different ways, but that is definitely one of the ways to grow your small business. Anything you are selling, you are new in that location, you definitely have to create awareness. There's no way you're going to start a business without creating awareness and you are expecting patronage. People will not buy from you because they don't know you are existing. They don't know you are there. You have to look for a way to create a brand, like brand your business, so that people will know that this thing is peculiar to you, something that people can use to signify you, something that people can use to, what do I call it, single you out. It is only this person that sells things like this. It is only this person that packages his food like this. It is only this person jollof rice that has this unique taste. You understand what I'm trying to say? So you have to look for something to signify yourself, to signify or single out yourself from the crowd, among the competition, among your contemporaries. Even in a saturated market, you can still single yourself out if you are doing the right thing. And that is what I'm here to guide you on. just look for a just perfect branding. Maybe you can use only yellow nylon. Other people are using black nylon to sell their food and the rest. You can decide to go for yellow nylon. So when someone buys from you and just sell to them in a yellow nylon, or the takeaway pack is yellow in color, they will know, ah, this food is from this person. This is only this person that sells food in this color of packaging. You understand? That is what a lot of brands do. That is how to signify themselves. That is how to single themselves out. Let's take example MTN. You know MTN color is yellow, Airtel color is red, Glow is green. So when they see yellow stuff, the first thing that comes to mind is MTN. When people see yellow umbrella on the road, even without seeing where they wrote MTN, the first thing that comes to their mind is MTN. Oh, maybe they are selling recharge card here. You understand? So you have to look for, choose a particular color that is going to be peculiar to you. Choose a particular branding that is, they're going to stick with that branding, and it's going to be like your identity in a saturated market. I think I've shifted a little bit. Let's come back to food. So now you already started, you're trying to grow your food business, you're trying to single yourself out, you're trying to get new customers, and you're trying to satisfy those new customers as well, because it is very important. Now, how do you intend to do this? What are the steps? What are the tricks that you can use to achieve this? Number one is when we come to packaging. I've talked about packaging. Package it very well. Make sure it is neat. Make sure there are no stains when you package your food for delivery, or when you sell food to a customer. There are no spillage on the plates. There are no dirt on the table, because people look out for those things. They may see it and they may not even tell you, but sometimes they may just make up their mind not to even patronize you again because of single debts. So you have to be very conscious of that. You have to make your environment where you sell the food very clean always, because that is one of the criteria people always look out for when they are buying food outside. The environment has to be clean, because the environment says a lot about the kind of food they will be eating. If they come and they see dirt littered all around the place, they'll be wondering, ah, you sure say this food clean? So do you think this food was cooked with clean water? Do you think that this food was cooked in a clean environment? Because they are selling the food in a dirty environment. That is what comes to customers' head when they come to patronize you and the environment is dirty. So you have to make sure that the environment that you are cooking the food is 100% clean. I know it's not possible, but you just have to work towards that. So that way you can attract more people to you. When you are working towards cleanliness, you're attracting more customers to you. You're attracting old customers, you're attracting new customers, because people who have patronized you before and they like your service, they will go and tell their friends. And when they go to tell their friends will tell their family members. So that's how it works. You have to look for things to draw customers to you. That way you are trying to build your presence in that location. You're trying to grow your business. You have a target to meet and you are working towards meeting that target. So that's one of the means for you to create awareness and keep customers and attract new customers to you, as I have said before. Now we're going to move to the now, apart from people coming to buy food from you, the next one is food truck. What is food truck? It is a mobile way of you delivering food to people in a particular location. When I say food truck, it's not necessarily that you must get a truck. I'm going to tell you the local way that people do it, and also advanced ways. People get truck, like maybe long bus, little van, little motor, little vehicle, even keke, like the tricycle. People use that to sell food. All they have to do is customize it, but that one may be capital intensive. But in a situation whereby you can't really do that, all you need to just do is get a bike, The bike is going to be working for you only. If you can purchase a bike, good for you. But if you cannot purchase the bike, they can discuss with someone like a bike rider or a logistics company. They will just help you to, maybe you print a banner. It's not expensive, in less than 5 to 10,000 naira. You print a banner that you can paste on the box that usually come with this bike, this Okada. So when you do that, you're already promoting your brand, you're already promoting your food business. Your phone number will be on the banner and the kind of food you sell, so people can call you for food delivery services all around within your location. So that is one of the ways to promote your food business. Another way is by printing card and customized flyer that you can give to people who patronize you. You can tell them we do food delivery. If you don't want to come to us, we can deliver the food to your offices, to your location, to pick up location anywhere you want us. You can just tell them that if you don't want to come to us, we are available for food delivery services. That's what most people do. So when you are doing that, you are already creating awareness. Offline though, you're already creating awareness. You're trying to tell people about your business. You're trying to project your business so that people can come and patronize you, so that people can call you for you to make your money. You understand? So apart from that method, the other one is by creating an online presence. Creating an online presence. How do you do this? I always tell people, if you watch my previous video, don't take the Facebook, Instagram, in Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok. Don't take those social media spaces for joke. People are making millions of nairas every day by advertising their business on those platforms. Facebook groups, Facebook pages, Facebook profile. Take advantage of them. If you don't have a large audience, large followers, pay people who have large followers. Some people even charge as low as 3,000, 5,000 per advert, which will last for 1 week. So you just target those within your location and tell them that you sell food, and that you can sell food in bowls, 2 liters, 5 liters bowls. They will order and then you deliver to them. People can be patronizing you like this. Every weekend you deliver food in bowls. That way you're making extra money while you're still running your restaurants. It is combination. It is the same food business. It is the same food business. You're just taking advantage. You're just leveraging on the other opportunities surrounding this. Especially if you don't have high capital. If you have very low capital, food delivery services, selling food in large quantities in bowls to families, working class people who are not really available to cook every time. Doing that is going to give you extra money that you are going to use to expand to that dream restaurant of your choice, of your dream, that restaurant you are dreaming of, that classy, cozy, elegant restaurant that you want to have in a very flamboyant location, in a very expensive location, that you can sell a plate of food for 20,000 naira. That's particular dream restaurants that you're planning on having. For you to be able to gather money to get to that stage is by leveraging on the little opportunities available for this small starts that you're starting. So you got a location, you're selling food to people every time. At the same time, you're delivering food to people who are ordering food, and then you are selling food in bowls to working class people who are not readily available to work, or people who don't want to cook. Sorry, not really available to cook. You are gathering your money. You are making even more than people who just focus on just selling food under umbrella, and they'll just sell, maybe they'll just cook 1 basket of rice or 1 congo of rice and they are done for that day. They already made their 2,000 naira and they are satisfied with it. they are done. Tomorrow they'll come and make another 2,000 naira. At the end of the month, they're making, let's say, 50,000 naira, and they can't meet up with their bills. They're still collecting food on credits to sell. They're still collecting raw food on credits to buy, because they're not ready to expand their means of making more money around the same food business. So you now listening to this video, I'm giving you tips, I'm giving you expo, I'm giving you what people do now to leverage on the food business to make more money than other people are making on the same food business. So I've talked about selling food, I've talked about advertising yourself, I've talked about printing flyers, banners, so that I've talked about branding, things that are unique to you only. Now let's talk about how you can stand out, how to win in a saturated market. How do you intend for your business to stand out? How do you want to win in a saturated market? Number one, give them quality over quantity. Quality over quantity. You see your neighbor selling cheap food and it's not tasty, or it's too spicy. People are complaining, this woman food too get pepper, this woman food too get salt, oil too much for this woman's soup, and she don't want to change their method. You can take advantage of that. Give them quality, delicious, good looking, tasting meals for cheap, not at your own detriment though, not as you losing your profit. Instead of making, let's say, 5% profit, you can reduce it to 4% profit, and that way you're trying to draw people to you. You're trying to mess with people's mind, let them leave the person they're already used to come to you. You're trying to build trust. So how do you intend to do it? It's by giving them quality over quantity. Quality over quantity. People will prefer to pay 2,000 naira for a delicious plate of food than to pay 1,000 naira for a food that they can't even eat. The face of the look is not of the food is not even attractive. People always eat with their eyes before eating with their mouths. That's what people do say. So if your food is good looking, it is tasty, it is delicious, people will always patronize you. People will give you contracts to cook. I'm going to come to that. People will always want to have a taste of your food because it looks good and definitely will taste good as well. So yeah, I've given you one of the tips. Another secret is that you can do giveaway. How do you do giveaway in a food business? You can decide to do giveaway every weekend. You can say buy 1 plate of rice and get an extra, a small plate of moi moi. Or you can say buy 1 plate of rice and chicken and get 1 piece of beef. Or you can say buy ewagoy, like stewed beans. Buy this ewagoy and get fried fish for free on top of it. Or buy beans and get plantain or dodo for free. People like free things. Next time they will come and buy that moi moi that you have given them for free because they love the taste. This time around you will sell the moi moi for 500 naira. So this is what most people do in food business. That is how people do in food business. Now we're going to move to the next stage. I've taught you how to begin, how to get your equipment, location, everything, how to start selling. Now I'm going to teach you what we call food costing. Food costing. What is food costing? When we talk about food costing, we're talking of the amounts of food per every step of it, the way you will sell the food, that you will include your gas, the packaging, the logistics, every single ingredient that is used to cook that food, so that you will not run at loss. That's what we call food costing. For your food business to be successful 100% or at least 80%, you need to cost the food business properly, even though you are going to run at loss. Now, I'm just going to give you an example. Let's say someone demands for 20 plates of rice. Let's say 20 plates of jollof rice and chicken, for example. So the person demands for 20 plates of jollof rice and chicken. No salad, no drink, no moi, no plantain, just 20 plates of jollof rice and chicken. Now, how do you want to give this person the price? How do you want to give it an estimated price, including your profits for this 20 plates of rice and 20 plates of jollof rice and chicken? Now, I want you to ask a very important question. This 20 plates of jollof rice and chicken, what size are you expecting? Who are eating it? Are they children or adults? What size are you expecting? This will help you to measure properly. This will help you to give a good estimate, because if you just say, okay, 20 plates of jollof rice and chicken, and you're going to give me 50,000 naira for 20 plates of jollof rice and chicken. Now, what if you run at loss with that 50,000 naira that you're charging the person for that particular contract? What if you run at loss? How will you recover? How will you learn from your mistake? How are you just going to continue running at loss and be complaining that business is not going well? How are you going to do it? In fact, what is the precaution to take so that you don't even run at loss in the first place? That's what I'm bringing to you in this particular video. Now, I want you to take note of every single item you're going to use to cook that food, that you're going to use to deliver the food, you're going to use to package the food, from the beginning to the end. Now, let's say for that 20 plates of jollof rice and 20 pieces of chicken, you're going to buy 20 plates for packaging the food, spoons as well, plus the nylon that you're going to use to package the food to the person. So you're going to write that down. The packaging, you're going to write it down. The cooking, the amount of kg of gas. Let's assume you use only 1 kg of gas. 1 kg of gas is currently between 750 to 1,000 naira in Nigeria. So let's say 1,000 naira for the gas that you use to cook the rice and chicken. Let's say the packaging, let's say the plate is 100 naira and you're getting 20. 100 naira times 20 is 2,000 naira. So let's say you pay 2,000 naira for the packaging, for just the plates. Let's say you pay 200 naira for the spoons, and let's say you pay 200 naira for the 20 nylon. So that's 2,400 for just the packaging. Then the gas plus the gas 1,000 naira. Let's say 3,400 naira for just gas and packaging. How about the rice? Let's assume you buy 2 Congo of rice, because 1 cup of rice, 1 Congo of rice is like, I don't know the price for 1 Congo of rice, but 1 Congo contains 10 cups. So let's assume you bought 20 cups. Let's assume a cup of rice is 100 naira, for example. 10 cups, 1,000. Let's say you bought the rice 2,000 naira for the 20 pieces of jollof rice and 20 pieces of chicken. 20 plates of jollof rice, 20 pieces of chicken. So let's say you bought the rice 2,000 naira plus the 3,400 we have calculated. That's 5,500. You know that the 50,000 you charge the person is already reducing. We didn't even go far yet. We have not talked of chicken. We have not talked of chicken. I'm just giving you an example so that you know how to cost your business, your food business, how to cost the food business so that you don't run at loss I'm giving you, a lot of people will just charge, and at the end of the day, they're not even very calculative of their expenses. They will run at loss. So I'm giving you this secret that some people don't even talk about. They'll just tell you food business is the lucrative business. They don't even go into details like this. So let's say I've calculated for the rice, the gas, and the packaging. Now let's talk about the chicken. Let's assume you buy, I don't know how much is a kilo of chicken right now, because I don't eat chicken like that. I only eat turkey and fish. But let's assume you buy live chicken, for example. I'm just giving an example. I don't go for frozen chicken because most of them are prematured, unless you have a good sauce. But let's assume you buy live chicken for 8,000 naira, for example, and you're able to cut it into good pieces of 20 pieces. That's good enough. So let's assume you buy the chicken 20,000 naira and 8,000 naira for big live chicken. Let's say big cock, matured one. You can get good size of 20 pieces from that. Very good size. So let's assume you get that. So let's say 5,000 naira plus 8,000 naira. That's 13,400 for just the chicken, the rice, the packaging, and the gas. What of tomatoes? I'm not going to give you the price for everything, but I'm just going to round it up for you. What of tomatoes, like fresh tomatoes, not just tomatoes. When I say tomatoes, I'm including the fresh pepper. You know the quantity of tomatoes, fresh pepper, onions, this other one that will make the food red, tatashe, bawa, all the peppers, ginger, garlic, they are going to blend together to make the jollof rice. What of the vegetable oil? What of the tomato paste? All these ones I'm summing for you in my head. I'm already calculating 15,000 for this, because let's assume you buy tomatoes 2,000, pepper 500, the other mixture of garlic, ginger, bawa, tatashe, let's say 100 naira. Or let's say you buy tatashe, let's say 2,500 for these ones, for the tomatoes, and for the pepper, tomatoes 2,000 plus the other ones 2,500. Let's say you're already, plus the grind, let's say you're already targeting 5,000 for the tomatoes. The vegetable oil, both for the cooking and the, let's say one, I think a liter is 2,000. I don't know for your location though, but you are sourcing for cheaper one. So even though you are sourcing for cheaper one, you are also targeting the healthy. You don't have to go and buy the animal fats they call oil in the market. You have to go for healthy ones like power oil. Those ones too are almost the same price, although some people in the market always package good oil and sell to people. So let's assume you buy 2 liters for like 2,000, for example, or 2,500, because you're going to still fry the chicken too. So let's assume 2 liters is okay, or at most 3 liters. So 5,000 plus 6,000 for vegetable oil. Let's say tomato paste 1,000 or 2,000. Already calculating. So we are going to add all that up. Spices, all the ingredients, salt, seasoning cube, curry, thyme, bay leaf, all the spices, including ginger, garlic, everything. You're going to add all the money spent, including your transport fare, so that you don't run at loss. Now, when you add all this up and the food is ready and you package it, and at the end of the day, you are able to come up with, let's say, 10,000 naira as your profit. You won't complain that business is not bad, is not good, because it is what you charge the person and you did not charge properly. So this will help you to charge properly. This will help you to tell the person, for you to bargain well when you already have idea of what to expect, what you are spending. You're not going to, it's not like you're going to use your business money to celebrate somebody's birthday. Because if you don't charge properly, instead of you to charge 50,000 naira for something and you're charging 20,000 naira, at the end of the day you run at loss. it is a business that will suffer because you will be ashamed of yourself and you will be back to the square zero where you are trying to run away from. So you see some people, they will start a business and the business will fall. Most times it's this kind of mistakes that make the food business to fall down, not to succeed. So for you to avoid it, you have to cost properly every details, from the gas to the transport fare to the delivery services to everything, so that you don't end up using your money to complete it and thereby running your business down. So costing is a very important part in food business, and you have to do it accurately so you don't run at loss. Now let us move talk of costing and what is the next step. Now you guys will agree with me, I've given you guys especially all the secrets to food business, to running a successful food business from the scratch, from the beginning, from having your idea to bringing your idea to life, from developing, from building on your idea and sourcing for location for your food business, also sourcing for the right equipment. This, for the equipment, you're going to be making the research by yourself so that you can know what you want, because it is you that know the kind of food business that you want to do. Now I already gave you guys all the steps, visually all the steps. Now let's move to the next one. After the costing, you already know how to cook, you already costing, you're already taking contracts. What are the things to do? What are the steps to take for you to run a successful food business? Now these steps I'm going to be giving you is not only applicable to food businesses, it is applicable to other business as well. First of all, when you are employing someone, you don't have to make it a family thing. If you make your business a family thing, you may end up regretting it, because I always say before in my previous videos that when you employ your family members to manage your business, they won't manage it rightly for you, because they feel that you are close to them, you are their family, you can't talk to them anyhow, you're not going to fire them. They feel very comfortable in your business. They were going to give this lackadaisical attitude towards your business, and the business may end up running down. So for you to run your food business successfully without any fear of it running down, and for you to keep your employees in check, you have to, one way or the other, leave family out of it. If you can't do it without employing your family, you have to put them in check. You have to state the rules, they have to follow the rules, and where they are not following the rules, you have to drop them and go for someone that will run your business to a higher level. That is one of the secrets. A lot of people don't know this. A lot of people are in this mess and they can't come out of it because they involve only their family members in their business. In a situation where you're involving a family member and you agree to pay the person, let's assume daily or weekly, then you have to keep the person in check, because it is your business, it is your idea, it is your money, it is your investment. You don't want it to run at loss. You don't want to cry at the end of the day. You don't want to come back to square zero. So for you to run a food business successfully, you have to employ the right person. You have to employ the right people. They have to be competent, they have to be effective, they have to be efficient, they have to be accountable to you. This is what successful business owners do. They employ people that are accountable to them. That is one way for your business to thrive in this market. So in a situation where you are running a food business and you just leave it in the hands of a family member, and the person is talking to your customers anyhow, the person is not doing the right thing at the right time, the person is slow to your business, instead of attending to customers or doing something important, the person is gisting with other employees, you have to take the right step. for that not to keep occurring. If not, you're going to run at loss in your business. So for you to run a successful business, it's either you leave family members out of it, or if you can't do without them, you have to keep them in check. They have to be effective in their duties, they have to be competent, they have to be professional, and they have to be accountable to you. If you give them a target to meet, they should meet the targets. So apart from family members, this is also applicable to other employees. Let's assume you get the business to a stage whereby you have a manager for it. The manager is not you. The manager is not trying to be you, but the manager should be able to represent. The manager should be able to handle its own part of the work very well. That is one way for you to run a successful business. Even when you travel, your business will not suffer if you lay the right foundation. Even though for some people, once they are sick, they have to close their shop. Once they are sick, their business will die. They have to start all over again. It shouldn't be like that. So for you to avoid that mistake, for you not to get to that stage, what you need to do is that you should train the people that are going to be watching after your business. You should train them to be able to be effective, accountable, and do the right thing so that your business will not suffer even in your absence. Apart from that, what other thing do you need to do to run your food business successfully? The other one is organization. Organization is very important in all food business, in all kind of business. Organization, if you are not organized, you may miss the step. You may end up mixing your business with other aspects of your life and not be able to balance things. So for you not to make that mistake, you need to take organization very seriously. Keep your business organized, keep your staffs organized. Take note of your money, take note of your capital, take note of your assets, take note of your income, your liabilities, your profits, your expenses. This way, you're able to calculate effectively and you're going to give proper accounts. You can be able to tell how much profit you have made a day, a week, and a month. And then when the profits margin are not meeting up, when it's not meeting up, you know that something is wrong and you have to fix it. When you set a target for the month and you didn't even meet up to half of the targets, you should know that something is wrong in one way or the other, and you'll be able to trace where the problem is coming from and handle the issue. So how do you intend to trace where a problem is coming from and solve it when you are not organized in your business? It doesn't work that way. When you are not organized, you need to look for a way to be organized. You need to bring yourself to check. If you think the workload is too much, it is the reason why you're not being organized in your business, then you need to employ at least one person to take responsibility. A competent and a professional is what you should employ. To do some tasks, you assign some tasks to that person, and then you bring yourself in check. That way you can be able to track your business. You can be able to track every aspect of your business. You're able to track if there's a liquidity somewhere, and if the business is moving forward. And then you'll be able to know that if this business is expandable or not. So for you to be successful in your food business, you need organizational skills. It is very important. All entrepreneurs, all business owners need organizational skills for them to be successful in their business. Another way for you to be able to do this, if you employ one person and it's not working, you can decide to, or if you think that the people you have employed are not effective, you can decide to drop them. Most businesses do this. If they think that they employ the wrong set of person, it is never too late to drop an employee. Because if you want to do the pity card thing and keep them because you're sorry for them, you pity them that they're going back to the labor market, how about your business falling down and you're in debt? How about you not being able to pay back or even meet up to the capital you used to start the business? How about if you're ending up collecting raw food on credit to sell to people for you to pay back the person you bought from? How about you collect the raw food on credit and then you cook it, you are unable to sell it for that day. You are unable to even get the capital, talk less of the profits. So for you not to do that, for you not to fall on the wrong track or what is the word for it? Be on the wrong side of life due to bad business ethics, bad business practices. If it involves you dropping some employees, the incompetent ones, or involve you employing a more competent one for you to stay organized, then you can do that. Now I've talked about business growth, things to do, some of the things to look at for your business to be organized. Now we're going to move to the next one, which is your business expandable? Is it due for expansion? How do you intend to expand? How do you intend to grow your income from this current income? That is a video. And in conclusion, I just want to talk briefly on how you can expand your food business. How to expand your food business? How expandable is your food business? Is your food business ripe for expansion? And how do you intend to achieve this? What aspect do you think will be profitable for you if you venture into in the expansion of your food business? Well, I'm sure before you want to expand your food business, you must have been doing the business for some period of time, months, years, maybe, and you also made some research, market research, to know the other part of food business that is going to be in demand in your location, or if you are planning to carry the expansion to another location. And are you very sure if it is going to be in demand in that particular location? Because it's not about you, it is about the market. It is not about what you want, it is about what the customers want, the people you want to sell to. It's about what they want. For example, now assuming you want to sell snail, if you take snail to the northern part of Nigeria, it won't sell because people there don't eat snail. 90% of the people there, they don't eat snail. They're not interested in snail. Sometimes it's even against their culture to eat snail. And then if you take snail to that part, it won't sell. But if you take snail to the south, it is in high demand. In fact, it is always out of stock in the market. If you take snail to the south, it is always out of stock. People will rush it, especially if you get it, if they can get it for less amount of money. So that's just an example. The expansion you're planning to do, is it in high demand in that particular location? And is it the same continuation of the cooked food, or you intend to diversify, maybe processed food, like let's say processed beans, processed corn, making pap, other processed food like cereal and the rest? Is that what you want to add to the business? Are you expanding the business in the same location? Do you want to add more stuff? Like some people, they sell jollof rice, for example, and by the side of their shop, they just arrange heaps and heaps of bags of raw rice. So people can decide to walk in and buy a bag of rice, a bag of raw rice, and they're still supplying some warehouse, some manufacturing companies, some people who are rice farmers. They've just supplied to these people because they have space and they have customers who walk in to buy. So people do that day in, day out, and they're making money. It is an expansion of food business. So which aspects do you intend to venture into, or do you want to go into food production? When I say food production, I'm talking of farming. Farming, would you like, do you have a spare land, or you have already bought a land, acres, or I don't know, that you think you can venture into farming to expand your food business? And what do you think you can plant at that period that will grow faster, that will yield you profits, that you can recover from where you have taken the money from? People do this all the time. People expand. It is not compulsory that you must be tied to one particular business. No way. It is not compulsory that you must focus on just one stream of income. In fact, we advise people to diversify. We advise people to invest in various streams of income. You may even be shocked that the one you decide to invest in newly may even be making you more money than the food business that you were doing for years. So which food business do you think you are ready, or which other part of business do you think you are ready to invest in, and do you think you are very sure of will fetch you money? Now there's this lady in Port Harcourt. She has a shop, a very big shop. The shop is, let me say, 3 in 1, very big. She sells, one side of the shop she sells like a market, typical Nigerian market. She sells everything right there: fish, meat, vegetables, cabbage, carrots, green beans for fried rice, salad cream, like vegetables. She sells there. She sells stockfish, egusi, ogbono, all the things that you can easily find in Nigerian market: plantain, potato, yam, beans, rice. She sells it in one part of the shop. Everything that you can see in the typical Nigerian markets, virtually everything: tomatoes, peppers, onions, all kinds. She sells it there. The shop is facing an express road. It's not an highway though, but it's an express road that people pass to different parts of that street. She sells this thing. I'm telling you, I'm just giving you this as an example of how expandable a food business is. The shop is divided into 3. It is a very big space too. She sells everything you can see, every raw food. Every raw food. Let me use the word raw food. That the people in that location, you know, in Port Harcourt, their kind of vegetable is not like efo shoko or efo tete. That you will say no, their own is ugu, water leaves, okazi, oha leaf, and the rest. So she sells all those kind of vegetables at a side of the shop. And then not only vegetables, plantain, like I said before, everything that you can think of, they can use to make soup, they can use to make yam and the rest. She sells those things, including cow meat, goat meat. I don't know where she's sourcing for, but I think the suppliers of this meat we bring to her, and she pay, and then she sell at her own retail price. I'm telling you how expandable that a food business can be. So she sells all raw food as one side of the shop, and then in the middle she sells everything grocery, all grocery: eggs, noodles, beverages, milk and Milo, cabbage chocolate, what else, soap, or everything grocery, everything that you can find in the supermarkets. She sells them at the middle of the shop. I'm just giving you this example for you to know how expandable a food business can be. So she sells all those things at the middle of the shop. When you walk in, it's like you walk into a supermarket: drinks, rice, bag of beans, Gary is on the other side where that look like market, but this other side is just like we walk into a supermarket. Everything you can think of: red, toilet wash, everything, soap, everything groceries though. So she sells them at that middle part of the shop. And then on this other side is a restaurant, or let me say buka or canteen. It's like a canteen. There are tables and chairs, there are different food, and she has employees, of course. She has over 50 employees. Though sometimes these employees, they take shifts. Some will come in the morning and stay till mid afternoon, and then the other ones will come mid afternoon and stay till night, because they close their shop like around 12 p.m. Sorry, not 12 p.m. Close to 12 a.m. like around 11:30. If you go there by 11 o'clock, it's still active. Their generator is always on. So you see what I'm trying to say? You see what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to give you example, a typical example of how expandable a food business can be. Just one person is running 3 different businesses in the same location. When you walk into the canteen, they have jollof rice, fried rice, white rice and stew, yam and egg, plantain and egg. They have fufu and different soup, different Nigerian soup. So she have people who are handling that part. In the middle, they have the grocery shop there, where you see everything grocery, drinks, processed food, spaghetti, noodles, bread, eggs, tomato paste and the rest, everything grocery. And then on this other part is a typical market. You want to buy frozen chicken, frozen turkey, fish, cow meat, cow skin, momo, stock fish. She has everything on that part. So it's about your idea, and it is you putting your idea into life. That is what matters. So when it comes to food business expansion, it is expandable very well, and it is the same food business. You can be selling jollof rice and be processing drink, fresh fruits, pineapple juice, smoothie. It is the same food business. Nobody is going to criticize you or anything. So I think I've tried enough. I think I've really give you guys the details. My time for this video, I actually was planning to do it for just 1 hour. I think I've exhausted my 1 hour. If you want to see more business ideas or more ways to improve your food business, stay tuned, because I'm going to be giving you more ideas. I think I'll see you guys on my next video.